Hello, welcome back to another video by Models by me. Happy New Year to everybody. This time we're going to be looking at Airfix's brand new release, or semi-new release now, because it's been out for at least a month or so. The Messerschmitt Me410 A1, U2 and U4 in 1/72nd scale. So we would be doing this in the usual manner of starting with the outside of the box, then the contents, then the instructions, and then the sprues, with my final thoughts being at the end. So a little bit of history on the Me410. I know we covered it again previously on the Italiari's 210 and 410 kits, but just to go back over it again quickly, for those that haven't watched that video, the Me410 traces its origin back to a pre-war time when the Luftwaffe was rearming itself from biplanes to monoplanes. The German Ministry of Aviation issued a request for a new long-range, multi-purpose fighter, having an internal bomb bay and equipped with cannons, also having enough space for 3 crew members. Despite not having an internal bomb bay, the Bf-110 was superior to its competitors. The Bf-110 proved useful in its destroyer role, being equipped with multiple autocannons, bombs, able to escort bombers as well. However, against dedicated single-seat fighters, the Bf-110 just struggled. The Me210 was actually developed at the start of the war. It was 1939 that was developed, being equipped with both forward-firing cannons and machine guns, about the same as the Bf-110. However, it was also equipped with 2 side-mounted, rear-facing MG131 machine guns. The Me210 also came equipped with the internal bomb bay that the Bf-110 omitted. However, it could also be equipped with various weapon pods. However, only 90 completed planes were built. The Me210 was cancelled as it was being very unstable in flight and leading to quite terrible stalls that they just could not rectify. The Me410 was actually a redevelopment of the 210 by straightening out the wings and giving larger, more powerful engines. This actually resolved the issues with the 210. However, to help the heavy fighters take out US Air Force bombers, it was equipped with an additional 30mm cannons, twin rocket pods under the wings, or a giant 50mm autocannon. Though the US Air Force was prepared for this and flew P-51 fighters in front of the bomber formations, and just like how the 110 flying against single-seat fighters like the Spitfire and Hurricanes during the Battle of Britain, the Me410 suffered heavily from the single-engine fighters. Eventually, the 410 was taken off the defence of the Reich duties and was equipped to do reconnaissance duties only. If you've made it this far through the video, please hit that subscribe button as we continue in the usual manner of having a look at the outside of this box. Right, so as per the title card, let's start with the outside of the box. So quite nicely tells you it's an Airfix kit, 1/72nd scale, Messerschmitt Me410. Currently also tells you it's a model kit in various different languages along the bottom, and we have a quite nice artwork of the 410 flying over a mountain range somewhere. Not quite sure where that is, but I'm sure somebody might be able to tell me. Right, along the side here we have warning, not suitable for those under 3 months, not 3 months, 36 months old, so that's 3 years. Again, in various different languages. Cartograph created the decals, so they're going to be quite good. Hornby's actually technically looks after Airfix. Barcode in case you want to scan it. Recommended for 8 above, 0 to 3 sad onions. Right, down this side, which is hard to do because the camera's mount's a bit too low. We got the usual, so we got the red border, 1/72, smash it for Me410, and the box art again on the side there. Airfix, a little bit of history on the plane again, and side art of the 2 versions you're doing, or you can get in this box technically. The U there's a typo. So we've got the Me410A1U2. That's actually equipped with additional cannons. It's actually this one here. As you see, there's 2 additional cannons sticking out there. Or the U4, which has actually got the 50mm autocannon sticking out the front. Recommended paints. Airfix Club, 2 hours, or 2 flying hours. Skill level 2. We'll see if that matches my skill level later. Though, for Airfix, I think everything's bumped across 1, so that would be technically skill level 3 under my rankings. Where did we get to? We got to the side, so that is literally the same as that one. And the underside, empty box. Or plain box again. One thing I'll say, because I have already opened this and had a look at it, the sticky, I don't know whether they just didn't slap it on and like push it hard on, but that came off and no issues. I literally peeled it off and it didn't take the cardboard with it. That makes a really nice change. Right. Let's see what the next title card has for us. Okay, so let's open this up and have a look. Yep. So we have instructions in folded A3 bit of paper, which means in turn folded in half again. We have a bag. We have a baggie full of baggies. I beg your pardon, it's full of sprues. Threw me off because the clear plastic, as per normal for Airfix, is bagged in its own individual bag. So we'll have a look at that lot later. We have a colour separate bit of paper, though quite glossy plasticky paper, with the colour guides on it. So we'll have a look at that one later. Decals. So we have lots of small decals here with some small writing on it. We have the spinny bits. Okay, these look like it will actually go around the propeller, the spinner technically. So yeah, hopefully that will work. Loads of little numbers. Which the camera is not picking up. Yeah, from what I can see round the stand, yeah, the writing is quite nice. No, I just made it worse. Okay. But overall, as per usual with cartograph, not too bad on the decal department. And that's it for the box. Instructions. So, again, a little bit of history on the plane in the front. Only 2 examples are known to survive, one just at RAF Museum and the other in storage in the US. The one hiding in the RAF Museum it's RAF Cosford, up outside on the outskirts of Birmingham. I've actually gone and seen that one. Quite an impressive plane. Unless I'm getting this mixed up with the Yonkers 88 that's also hiding there. Pretty certain that's where that one's hiding. Anyway, let's have a look at the instructions. So, a little bit more history at the top here if you want to pause and read. At the bottom, so stage number, part number, do not glue. Ironically, that says cement. I guess they've merged the part number and the cement or glue sections together. Final location. Now, what it means by that is, conveniently you can see it just in the corner here. So let's bring on. Weirdly, so step 4, it tells you to glue this bit onto here, and step 5, you see where it's supposed to be. Optional parts, multiple decals are in red. Okay, makes them stand out. Clear plastic is in, well, inverted colours to regular plastic. Weight, don't need weight, but it's there just in case. Remove a file, drill a hole, cut, and if you're going to paint, that's what it looks like. Right, so stage 1, starting with the cockpit section. So, paint up the interior, put the decals on, put the clear plastic or the seam window into the front of the cockpit section, and then the main weapons underneath. That is already completely different to the Italiari kit, which didn't have any of the weapons. Option, or if you're doing option B, which is going to be, we've nearly done this. Option B is the cannon, the massive cannon armed version. Drill out those 2 holes first. Weird that's going down that way. Might be a reason. Next, put the seat in and the backrest. Stage 3, small instruments and the control column. Stage 4, it's a bit of framework. That separates the pilot and the rear gunner. Speaking of the rear gunner, work on his section here. Apologies, I don't quite know what those bits are going to be. I know it shows it here, but they serve a purpose. And once this is all done, flip the entire assembly over. If you're doing the cannon armed version, put the support arm in, and how to paint up the underside of the weapons bay. Weirdly, it's saying all the guns are painted in black. Whether the barrels were painted in enamel, I would imagine enamel over the top, or was it just, or should it be like metal, like darkened metal? If you do generally know, please put it in the comment section. Hopefully I'll try and catch them before trying to make this kit. Would you be in luck because it's the Bristol Bombay next still. Stage 8. Do some more drilling. A lot more drilling. Yay. Also alluded to a couple of extra holes, so future kits maybe? Step 9. Put a wing spar in. Step 10. The gunner seat. And he's sat on top of a fuel tank. Looks like he's on top of a fuel tank. Interesting. Once that's all glued in, well, glued together, you glue it into the wing section. Final location showing what should be. If you're doing landing gear up, put the wheel bay covers over, or in technically, and that's it. If you're doing landing gear down, put in the wheel bays in. Step 14. Time to go on to the fuselage now. So we started with the cockpit section, then we go on to the wings, and now we're on to the fuselage. There's a reason for this, I know. So, instrument panel at the front. So yes, because this thing has glass going all the way around the front, like so, there's literally glass all the way down there. You can't have the traditional instrument panel because it just defeats the point of having that glass there. So the instruments were split. So one here, and the other bit is, it's just down here. Put, I would believe, to be radio equipment into the back there, as well as the rear landing gear stuff. Same on the other side, except for it's literally just the instrument panel. They put the decals on. Ironically, it tells you to put decal 2 on first, then decal 1. Which is different because we've already done decals 3 and 4. Anyway, back on subject. Once that's all glue and dry, and painted, glue the cockpit section in. That's why we did that bit first. And what I believe is coming up next. Yep, we have to glue the two sides of the fuselage together. With the exception of do not glue the centre bit in. And that is for the little bar bits on the sides, what these those side machine guns are called. Bring out the box out again. Yeah, so what these things are called. And the reason you do not glue that is because they can actually go up and down. And the machine guns can actually then also go out to one side. I think all the way up to, like, it's not 90 degrees, but it is quite far out. Then we glue the entirety of the fuselage onto the wings, or the lower wing section, before gluing the upper wing section on. This way I'll make a slight suggestion for you, Airfix. Do the cockpit section first, that makes sense. Then do the fuselage section. Then you can put the fuselage to one side, and then do the wing section. And then you can bring your fuselage back. That saves you having about 2 or 3 different almost 3 sub-assemblies that you're then waiting to put together. Think of the Catalina there. Then the upper wings, of course. And then stage 20. Slats out or slats in. I said slats out was an option. If you go back and when Airfix first released this, I said it does look like they will have posable flaps or slats, and yes, they do. Next, Airfix. This is quite interesting what they've done here. So it does kind of have posable horizontal stabilizers, but they're either flying straight and level or putting nose down. So it's not properly posable, such as plus 20, minus 20. No, it's either flat or down. So, a bit of an interesting one. So you do that for the left and the right sides, port and starboard. Note the top piece is the same on both. So That saves on a bit of plastic there, I suppose. And then glue the tail sections on with the rudder. And conveniently just gives you the usual cross section of everything being about 90 degrees to each other. Next, once I get it back on page, there we go. Time to glue the engines together. So first engine, two sides together, and put will be the radiator, I suppose that would be. Glue him in. It could be the oil cooler, that bit, because the radiator I know is coming up and it does actually say radiator. So do that for both engines, then glue the engines on. Next, weapon bay, or weapon pods technically. Do you go for the twin extra, I believe are 30mm cannons there? Or do you go for the beastie that is the 50mm cannon? Only the front half of it though, they've cut off the second half of it. Once we're done with the fuselage, as alluded to, radiators. Note, with the radiator flaps closed, follow steps 31 to 38. Or if you're doing them open, do 39, or carry on from step 39. Okay. So, the first half we still... Flaps open, miss out steps 31 to 38. Okay, so that's good. I like this. So page 1 if you want the flaps closed, and page 2, okay, technically it's page 10, but page 2, if you want the flaps open. Yeah, okay, that's nice. I do like that. So everything, there's no confusion. Okay, a little bit confusing because I was like, wait a minute, these parts are universal, surely. No. They just duplicated them to the other side. So, me likey. Alright, me from the future. So, I know we got to this bit, so glue the two sides of the radiator together, glue them into the cover, do that again for the other side, and then glue the two sides of the cover onto the rest of the bits you've just done. Then, glue the flaps in, make sure they're level with the wings, so that's radiator closed, and then glue the radiators on top. Yes, I'm using a scrapey tool this time. If you want radiators open, do the same again, except for replace these pieces with the open radiator part. Again, when it comes to this cover, make sure he's open at 10 degrees on both sides, and then glue the radiator on top. This problem with this fold in the middle, it keeps wanting to bend up. There we go. Right. Glue the two counterweights into the ailerons on both sides, and then glue the ailerons into the wings. Next comes the engines. So glue the engines, glue the exhaust into the engine nacelles. Paint these up first. Paint the underside of the covers on, or cut the underside of the covers first, and then glue those over the top of your exhaust stubs. Again, then you just repeat it for the other side. Next, important, only put glue on the parts highlighted in yellow here. That is so if you want your barbettes to move, they can. Doesn't quite help with the machine guns, but at least the barbettes can move. Next, glue the two sides of the wheels together. Note, it is a weighted wheel there, you can just make it out there. Then glue the suspension onto the landing gear strut, both sides. And then glue the landing gear struts into the wings, or the engine nacelles, and the wheels over the top. Plus the landing bay cover Make sure you glue that in as well. So we've done the main landing gear. You can guess what's going up. Tail wheel. So if you're having landing gear up, nice and simple, just glue that straight over the top. If you're having landing gear or down, technically not open, glue this piece in. Make sure you paint that up in 240, the interior light olive colour. And then glue the rear landing gear strut in. Note it says you've got to glue this bit all the way down into here. That's why we've got this big zigzag thing here. Optional fuel tanks. So if you're putting the fuel tanks on, glue the upper and lower parts together. Glue the two struts on to each fuel tank. And so why don't you do that twice? But no, there's a reason for that. Because the reason being, one goes on the port wing and one on the starboard wing. I was trying to figure it out in my head. I'm not going to do that. Next, glue the propellers together. So, nice and easy this bit. Glue the propellers onto the back of the base plate, and then glue the spinner over the top. If you want spinny propeller, do not glue this to that. You must put this through that, and then glue this little bit on the end onto the nub there. If you're like me and do not care for spinny propeller, glue that to that, and you can ignore that. And then once that's glued, that's to that, you can then glue that to that into the engine nacelles. Cockpit section. Yes, we're still not finished with the cockpit. A little bit of an irony there. So we glue these two support frames in, and then the rear gun sight here. So this, you quite clearly see how it's there, and you've got the trigger in the middle there. So how these work is you've got basically two beams there, the front and the back, so front and back, and then you've got two sights on either side. When you try and line up the gun sights, these move like that, and then up and down respectively. That is what controls the barbets. Very clever system. Probably much easier ways of doing it, but that's how what the Germans came up with. Next, depending if you're doing version A or version B, glue the two separate front glass canopies on. Once you've done the front bit of the glass canopy, do the top bit. Now, read a thing where it says glue one side onto the top, glue these two then onto the fuselage, and then glue. So let me bring this bit in. So glue the far side and this top piece on here first. Once that's all lined up, then glue this bit onto the side. That's it. If that works for them, and it may work for you, go ahead. I think I will probably do the same as well, actually, to be honest. Because lining up these two pieces first would probably be easier than trying to glue all three together, put it on, and then you've found out you've messed up somewhere. Let's jump back up to the underside here, where we have, well, let's start here. So we got I'm guessing that can't be an antenna, because there's another antenna hiding right there. Must be a radar or something there. More directional, I think that's more radio equipment. Could be directional finding stuff. And then we have the steps. How do you get onto this plane? Well, use the step. But if you're having the landing gear up, well, naturally you're not going to try and step onto this thing mid-flight. So cut all the support arm off, leaving just a step, and then glue that into the wing root there. And then, as alluded to earlier, glue the canopy on, glue the aerial on, and glue the P-tail tube on. word of advice, leave all that to last. While painting and decaling and whatever else, whether you like to over your planes, you will knock all this lot off. Except that. You're not knocking that off. That's too skinny. You're not hitting that. And that's it for the instructions part of the instructions. Still need to paint it. So Airfix in their usual way tell you all the colours you need with the corresponding colour codes. So we need black, gunmetal, satin coal black, IML 70, 74, 75 and 76. Conveniently it also tells you around here. I swear it told you here as well. Yes. 245, 246. So if you see the colours or numbers without a box around them, that's the paint. So 32, which ironically isn't there, is required for that bit there. That bit that looks distinctly like a decal, considering there's 32 there, which is boxed. So just take your time, have a look. So we've got pretty standard camouflage on the top, squiggly at the back here, which isn't standard for German aircraft. Some smoky mottling on the tail, which you can't see on that one. There you go. And yeah, loads and loads of decals all over the place on this thing. And this was based in Norway. For the other paint scheme, again, it's exact same colours, 70, 74, 75, 76. Pretty much standard camouflage with straight lines all over the place. A lot more mottling down the sides, so if I can get my airbrush up and running, yay! If not, yay! But yeah, loads and loads of decals. What I also quite like is they showed here. Okay, it might be nicer if it's coloured, but so yeah, because the mottling's in the way here. The engine's in the way of the mottling. It does alternate between brown and what looks to be like IML 70 and 75 maybe for the mottling. $246? Not sure. But it tells you, well, there's little numbers. You'll find it on the 110 as well, and the 109. I'm guessing these are frame lines because these are numbered. So, all in all, quite interesting paint schemes. Now, back to past me for the actual unboxing, and have a look at the sprues. Alright, let's have a look at the sprues. So, I'll try to get them all on the camera, but alas, it's just too many to actually get them all on in one go. One thing I've instantly noticed, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but normally when Airfix or other model companies do sprue A, sprue B, etc., it's normally just a tab that has an indent of the letter in question. No, Airfix have gone one better. They've actually completely... There you go. They've completely cut the letter out, so I'd say that's actually a little bit more visual there. So, in the case of some of the letters, it might actually give you a clue which side the numbers are on, because I can imagine... Yeah, so A, you got the numbers there. So if I do E backwards, yeah, you can't see any of the numbers. So you know, right, I'm looking at the wrong side. That's E. Oh, that's part number 12. Perfect. So, okie dokie, this looks like a really nice kit. Let's start with letter A, or sprue A, and go from there. Which conveniently means the clear plastic's the last sprue we look at. So, sprue A, let's have a look at the engine nacelles. So, some wobbly camber. Whoops. There we go. So, engine nacelles quite nice. Recessed panel line. Raised bits there, but I think that's intentional. The two machine guns and cannons. A little basic, but quite nice. You're not really going to see those. But okie dokie. The external fuel tanks. Quite nice. The barbettes. Really quite nice. You can make out the like rivet or screw holes there. The ejection chute. Yeah, that's quite good. I would say the drum here, but the drum is... you're not going to see it, so yeah. Wing spar, the part of it you are going to see, which will be the bits for the landing gear. Quite nice. The wheels are very, very nice. I'm going to keep saying that evidently enough. Nothing there naturally. Okie dokie. We'll come back to the cockpit in a minute. Fuselage. So again, quite thin and fairly shallowish panel lines. We've got some rivets there as well, screw holes. Don't know if they came out on camera or not, sorry. Okie dokie. Ooh, we've got some wiring work on the inside there. Right, let's have a look at the radio and compass. You got all the additional wires at the back there. That's nice. That's really, really good. That's good. Cockpit section here. Yeah, you got the foot paddles there. Pedals there, and you can just about make out how they work as well. So that's really quite good. Bit more for the undercarriage. That's really quite nice. Okie dokie, and the underside, because this should have some detail to it. That's got a little bit of detail there, and that's what I was trying to look for. So the two holes for the 50mm cannon mount, which is, of course, it's going to be on sprue F, which is the weapons. There he is. The two holes to drill out are literally hiding right next to the control column, as you can see there. So, okie dokie. Inside, other than the obvious bit, not much there. And the interior of the cockpit section. Few extra little wires. That's nice. That's actually there. Yeah, overall, really, really nice. And you've got some of the framework on the inside of the rear landing gear, or the rear landing wheel bay. Okie dokie, so that's sprue A done. Sprue B is not the other half of the fuselage. It's the wings. So let's have a look at the radiators first, starting with the left again. So, not too bad. The upper wing. Quite nice, quite nice. It's, I don't know where... Oops. Let me just pick up sprue A again. No, it's not immediately obvious, but if you look at the wing here, they've actually cut around the circles, not gone straight through them, so that's a good touch. That's a nice touch, that one. But all the panel lines are still there, all recessed. Guessing these are fuel filler caps. Quite nice. I think these are actually the fuel caps. Underside of the wings, we've got a bit more detail there. You can see all the rivets are hiding there. That's really good, really good. Ah, yeah, intake. It's not just a straight hole, they've actually curved it as well. I'm doing the one that was off camera, there you go. So they've actually curved them on both sides. That's a really good feature, that's really good. So many model manufacturers just do a hole and they go straight back, or I don't think I've seen that many that actually curve it, especially as when it's still attached to the wing like that. Ooh, that's really good. Oh yeah, and look how many holes they're ready to drill here. Yeah. Oh, and there's more on the inside here as well. Airfix is planning for the future. They are going to re-release this kit in different versions. Sprues. So start on the left side again. We have the horizontal stabilizer, which again, really nice crisp detail. That's the other side that goes onto them. Quite nice. The rudder. The rudder is fabric. Was not expecting that, to be honest. Interesting. Propellers. They look like propellers. Engine nacelles are the same, so yeah, we'll jump over those quickly. The side of the fuselage, well, the outside at least, pretty much same again there. You can make out just the movement just there, or the momentum of travel that should have. I believe that's what that's for there. There you go. Inside of the cockpit, again, quite nice. A few ejection pin marks. Don't know if you're going to see those or not. Don't think you're going to see those. That one you might. No, overall quite nice again. Let's try not to hit the camera again. Sprue D, what we got here? So we have, starting in the corner here, we have the seats, which are, they look like seats. No seat belts, so. Headrest. Yeah, headrest. The radio bits that go on the inside there. Well, I thought were radio bits on the instructions. Not too sure what they should be, but they do look quite nicely detailed. The rear landing gear wheel. Very nice. Got a nice tread detail there as well. It's quite nice. That bit's just for that to go into. Struts. Quite nice again. You can make out the rubber shock absorber there. The covers are, well, I was about to say basic, but that's the enclosed or landing gear up. Landing gear down, it's got detail on the inside. Again, really nice. Coming down, we've got the machine guns with, excuse me a minute. Yep. There is, I don't know how well it's coming out on the camera, but that is got their fluted barrels. They are not fluted, they do have cooling holes in them, so that's nice. That's for the fuel tanks. Counterweights are quite nice. or the landing gear struts. Overall, really impressed with this kit. There's the trigger for the rear. Yeah, you can even make it out. So it's basically, he's doing that. That's your handle, there's your trigger, and that glues onto the back of this. I don't know which way round that should go. I think it is this way round. Because I could be wrong, but I think those are the like spider sights you look out of. Okay. But yeah, overall, really, really nice, really good. Control column. Yeah, Airfix have put their love into this kit, haven't they? Sprue spinners. Just look like spinners, though they have put the rings on there, and the okay, small rings. I don't know how well they're coming out on the camera. There's a couple of rings on the spinners as you go down. The slats, yeah, they're there. They're just a bit smooth. Will be smooth metal. So, well, I suppose when they're opened, you can see some of the detail. There is some detail hiding there. There you go. So yeah, all really, really nice. That'll be the ailerons. Very skinny ailerons for this thing. The exhausts, which, yeah, I'll be asking for too much for the exhaust to be drilled out. Especially when they're like not even probably a millimetre or just about a millimetre thick per exhaust stub, so what do you expect? Covers, again, it's just a folded bit of metal, so not too bad overall. The exhausts, or not exhaust, beg your pardon, that's the exhaust. Radiators are really, really nice. There's, yeah, all the details there. I can't wait to make this one. I really cannot wait to make this one. The gun pods. A bit basic, to be honest. But then again, you only really, if you look down the cockpit section, you're only going to see this front bit. Assuming you're making the twin 30mm. So you're only really going to see that bit, so that's all they've modelled. And the same with the 50mm cannon here. You're only going to see that bit, so that's all they've done. That's all they've designed. So there's a chance for aftermarket parts to fill up the rest of this gun pod. That's definitely going to be interesting. In case you're wondering, if you weren't carrying these guns, that's your bomb bay. So that, for those that haven't seen the 210 and previous 410 video, the bomb bay is basically lined up for about where it goes. We stop trying to bounce off. That's where the bomb bay is. Right at the front there, so yeah, really, really good. Really nice. Really detailed there. Okay, clear plastic, and I can already tell from here. Well, the clear plastic's clear, but I'm looking at it now. Doesn't seem all that clear. Oh, more proof that they're going to do future versions. Smooth. 2 cutouts for him. Single cutout for him. Right. Also, there's 2 top sections. Okie dokie. Airfix, what are you going to do next with this kit? Right, so There we go, you can make out the detail there. Not too bad. Even the refraction through the curved fit plastic, you can quite clearly see the detail. Okay, let me bag all this lot back up again and then do my final thoughts. Right, so my final thoughts on Airfix's Me410. Oh, it is a lovely kit. It's a really, really lovely kit. Considering I think the only other 410 or 210 that's out there is the Italiari one, which is nice. But it's definitely shown its age a little bit, being I think it was a 1997 new tool, if I remember the 210 box correctly. So about 15, got the maths right, about 15 years later, Airfix finally do one. Oh, the detail for it it's good. So let's do this how I normally do this. So my skill level, 1 to 5. 1 being beginner, 2 being easy, like say the classic Airfix Spitfire. 3 intermediate, such as, again, keeping with Airfix, their bombers are a little bit more complicated. 4 being, say, expert, so you've had quite a few models under your kit. There's also roughly where I start saying this is where resin or photo etch will start appearing. Or skill level 5, you need to be a master builder to make this kit. I'm going to... Okay, remember what I said with the Airfix skill level? That's convenient. Airfix said skill level 2, which need to bump everything across 1 for it to match mine, because I think their skill level 1 is their own Spitfire, which is what I say skill level 2. That's also because I also look at other models that are easier, such as the MT200, if you really want to go back and watch that early video. But yeah, I agree with them as a skill level 3. So it'll be in their Airfix terms 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So slight bang in the middle, skill level 3. So I agree with Airfix. Interior detail. It's nice. It really is nice. All the wires are there. I know a lot of people that when they make kits, they go the extra mile by putting all the extra cabling, the wiring in. You could still do it with this kit, though Airfix has included it on the sidewalls for you already. And the same with the foot pedals. Why do I keep getting that mixed up? The foot pedals. You can make out how they're going to work. And the rest of the detail is there. The only few exceptions. All the instruments are just raised dials and stuff. I know I've kind of been spoilt by the... Okay, it's a Hobby 2000 Reeboks, but it is an Academy Comet, and I've got another Academy kit recently, and I'm going to spoil it already, but I'm not going to tell you which Academy kit it is. That has the needles on the dials as well. There's no needles on these dials, which would make sense if you're going to put decals over the top. So I'll let them off a little bit for that. The other things I would say is the interior. Again, what I was saying with the gun bays, you ain't going to see the rear half of that, so why include it? Just do the front half. It's where I say maybe a diorama and like aftermarket parts, probably what they're thinking of. And the fact you can have it, take the weapons pod off and show the interior. Or are they planning for the future, where they take the Sprue F away, which is the weapons, and put in like, say, Sprue G. It's probably what they're planning. Which would be bombs. Or photo reconnaissance stuff. But interior detail, I'm going with 4.5. It is really nice. I think they could just do maybe a little better. But what's there is really good. Just need to refine it a little bit, in my opinion. Outside detail. It is really good. It is really nice external detail. All the panel lines are nice and crisp. Little recessed panel lines as well, which is an added bonus. There's rivets there as well. It's all, say, really, really, really nice. I know I keep saying it's really nice, but it is a really nice kit. So external detail. I want to say a 5. I do really want to say 5. Again, why am I holding back? And I think the box art here is changing my opinion. Because is it coming out? It is just about coming out on the camera as well. You can make out all these. It's almost like a zigzag going down these panel lines here. That's all like the rivets are used to. So you know there's a frame there, and they've literally riveted that panel onto the outside. I don't recall seeing those rivets next to, it's just a panel line and no rivets. So Airfix, your box art kind of screwed you over on that one. I could be wrong. I could have missed it. In fact, let's have a quick double check. 'Cause I think it won't take too long. Come out, you. No, so the only bit of riveting I can see is like up here. There's none on any of these panel lines there. Right, just to double check. Yeah, it's all raised dials and stuff. There's no detail on them. So, okie dokie. So, exterior detail. I'm going to go 4.5 again. So we're going to start 2024 with a really high score, this one, of a 9 out of 10. So, really, really nice kit. Good start to 2024. Which will be a comparison to the next video I'm going to look at, which is a golden oldie. Anyway, if you have liked the video, please hit that like button. It does help. Comment below. Have you made this one? Is there any traps or anything to look out for? Or actually, is this a really nice kit? Does it just go together? Is there any issues at all? As I said, subscribe for more videos. Share the video with your friends. When I get to the 500 subscribers, I will do a build video on the HE177. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks, bye. Yeah.